there. It's down there.
Oh my.
No, I'll just do it here, then I can concentrate. I feel like if I'm down there, I won't pay attention.
Hello.
Hello.
Going completely casual tonight.
Same. Pajamas.
All right, I'm gonna start. I just had like one of my brand new coaches call me. I think she has the wrong time zone. I wanted to do this call. I wanted to at least get it done because I think it was needed before the end of the month. And we still have a week for Success Club to end with a bang and all this other stuff. And so what I wanted to do was really talk about branding because for a while, people were like, oh, you don't have to brand yourself. You don't have to do attraction marketing. You don't have to do all this other stuff. And you absolutely don't. Except for I didn't want to spend the rest of my life cold messaging people. I'll be very honest with you. I don't like to cold message people. I don't like to ask people to try things. I have always just run my business in the fact that I hope that I was approachable, I was somebody they connected with, and I was somebody that inspired them to want to do things. And I would continually invite people to bring in. And so one of the things that I feel like is this switch in people's business is when they really start to brand themselves. And I actually can give you some examples of people that I have worked with in the business who kind of floundered, kind of were like stuck at diamond, not really doing anything. And then when they kind of flipped the switch to brand themselves, it was a huge thing. And so Leticia Dominguez was like a baby coach when I was in the business. And she came in and you never heard her speak Spanish. You never heard her do anything in the Latino market. She was like, her story was she just was a kindergarten teacher. And she was just kind of like putting out this like fitness stuff. So even though she was showing up, she was doing the work, and she was inviting, she was having minimal success. What created her incredible success is when she decided to be really specific and decided to go after the Latino market. And even though she has people who come into her business that that are not Hispanic and everything, that's kind of like where she branded herself. And in branding herself, it allowed her to really come out as who she is. It allowed people to really connect with her. Ashley Molstead, the number one coach, was also a baby coach that I worked with. And Ashley's whole thing was foodie fitness or whatever. And basically she would just make a picture of a food and like give recipes and stuff. And so when you see Ashley now, that's not her at all. And for a long time, she actually never got to elite, never got to past 5-star, because she just was trying to be this typical person. And so sometimes I feel like people kind of just get stuck at that diamond level and never go to the next level because they keep trying to get everyone, when in reality, when they start honing in on exactly who they are, when they start owning exactly who they are, what's special about them, it allows this influx of people to come into the business who not only are going to be people that are easier to work with because they're your people, but also they're going to be raving people who love you. You know, it's a lot easier to build a business with people who actually like you than with people who you're trying to get to like you, if that makes sense. I don't feel like anybody that comes into my business is somebody who I've had to convince that I'm a good person, that I've had to convince that it would be a good idea they built a business with me. It's just been somebody that and I'm using their words. They've trusted me. They feel like I'm the person that speaks to them. They feel like if they're going to go on this journey that's a little scary, that I'm the person that they wanted to pick. And so sometimes I feel like this business can feel like you're trying to get people, but if you really are brave enough to do the work on yourself and figure out who you are, it can really be a situation where you attract people into your business. You really do. You really have people that are like, all of a sudden they're like, all right, girl, like I'm ready. I want to join you and things like that. And so I wanted to talk about some things of how I've done it and how maybe you can do it. And so there's this thing called an avatar. And an avatar is a specific person that whenever you post, that's who you're talking to. And for a lot of people, that avatar is themselves. And so, sometimes I feel like people don't become who they are on social media because when they go to post, they're thinking about all the people they don't want. They're thinking about their mother. They're thinking about their neighbor. They're thinking about like the PTA woman who doesn't like them. They're thinking about their coworkers that are toxic. And so I've got to tell you, whenever I go on social media, I only think about what I need to hear. And so my avatar, the person that I'm speaking to, is actually myself. And that made it super easy for me to kind of always post in a manner that I felt like people needed to hear. And here's the thing, when I post, I really don't post in hopes that I get like 1,000 likes and I get a ton of comments. I really do post because I truly believe that if one person sees that message and it helps that person, then that was successful. And so I've never really wanted to get like tons of people. When you first open your business, I see a lot of new coaches on here. It's kind of not easy, but like you're kind of just like hodgepodging your people, your business together, right? You're like grabbing maybe a family member, you're grabbing like your acquaintances, you're kind of like in your warm market. And so you're really not thinking about your brand. You're not thinking about like, who am I? You're just trying to get your 3 people in. But here's the thing. Sometimes people in the beginning of their business can do that, and then they hit a brick wall because maybe they're warm market. They've kind of reached everybody, and they've never really diversified themselves. They never really figured out like who they are, what they should start posting about, and how they can connect with other people other than that. And so if you want to think about who your person that you want to work with, start making a list of who that is. For instance, I can give you what I wrote down. So for instance, you know how like everybody's talking about these promo codes? I don't really talk about them. You know why? I don't buy anything on sale. Like, I am not a sale person. And in fact, if you tell me it's exclusive and it's expensive, then I want it more. That's me. That's me. If you tell me like I'm going to save $10, I actually am going to think, well, what's wrong with it? Like, why is it discounted? Because I'm not a discount girl. I know. And other people, like for instance, Lori Stewart and I grew up in the business the same way. Lori will find a freaking code. Like, she will go to the depths of whatever to go find a promo code to find it. Like, that's her, and that's her people. It's okay. But that's like a specific thing that I feel like my people are. Like, my people are have it now mentality. Like, I don't want to wait for it in 2 weeks. I'm going to pay you the extra shipping so that I can get it like on the third day or the second day. That's just me. I love to read. I love alone time. I love champagne. I love my kids, but I don't really think that I'm like a typical traditional mom. I like to look cute in my workout. Like, some people don't care what they work out in their clothes. I will legit go change my workout outfit if I feel like it's affecting my mood. That's just me. I like to look cute. I like fashion. I love clothes. I love shoes. Like, I have gotten more messages about those damn pink shoes than anything else and stuff. I like to look youthful. And so I am 40, I'll be 48 next week, but I actually don't like to talk about the fact that I'm older and all this other stuff. I actually like to talk about like I'm sexy and wear a bikini and I want to look sexy. I am outspoken. It's very rare that I don't share my opinion, and I don't just share my opinion on fitness stuff. I've shared my opinion on a lot of stuff and stuff. I'm into football, which, opening day or the practice just started today. I'm into football. I'm into sports. I am the type of person that would probably run up my credit card to go do something. Like, I just worry about paying that credit card later. Like, when you think about your person, think about all of it. Think about how they spend their money. Think about how they budget. Think about what they do. I personally don't like to online shop. I'm not an online shopper. I don't like it. I like to feel my clothes before I buy them. I like to try them on, whatever. What's interesting is I feel like there's a new segment to my life, which is being faith-based. But my faith-based is different, I think, like even than Jen Palmer's. My faith-based is, guys, I'm like new at this. Like, I am super new at this. But what's been really nice? It's been really nice to get messages from women who are just like me, who say, I think I need this. I think I need this in my life. I've always felt like weird, like I didn't know where to start. And do you like that book? And is it helping you? And so I don't have to say that I'm an expert person in faith. I'm just sharing what's going on in my life, and that connects me and that creates new conversations. And I really want you to think about this. Look in your IG messages and look in your Facebook messages. If you have no messages that have nothing to do, like if the only messages you have to do is you inviting somebody to like a challenge group, that's a problem. I mean, I'm glad that you have the messages going on, but I can tell you that almost everybody that has joined me has created a conversation with me that had nothing to do about fitness. It was like, hey girl, where'd you get your sports bra? What cereal are you eating? What restaurant is that? What do your boys like that? And when people feel free enough to be able to have that conversation and ask you, it's all like you almost like opened up a door to them, in that they trust you. They have a relationship with you, kind of. And so if you're posting stuff and you're not getting those kind of questions, then you might want to take a look at your content that you're putting on. Because I know, I use IG stories a lot because this business changes. And in 7 years, it was like Facebook page, right? And then it turned into IG. And now all of my people come from IG stories, like all of them come from IG stories. And so, you don't have to be on IG stories all day, but it's amazing how many people message me about just sharing my personal development, or sharing like a dress I wore, or asking people what dress I should wear for date night tomorrow night, and things like that. Like, sometimes we get so caught up in the fitness part of it that we realize that we're missing our people because we're just using this broad fitness thing. So if you've never done the avatar thing, and it's in our coaching guidebook in there, but think about you. Like, make a list of all the things about you. Because if you can make a list about all the things about you, then I would bet you that you're going to start to see your people. You'll start to see things that you can talk about. You'll start to see different ways that you can connect with people. One of the things that I did last week was I worked on a tagline for my business, because I feel like when you have a tagline, it kind of makes it come together. And so my tagline that I wrote was, I just had it open. My tagline was, take your life back by taking care of you, and create an even better one by taking care of others. Like, that's my business in a nutshell. I really do believe that taking care and serving others in this business creates a different you. It heals you. It does so many amazing things. And so when you have that tagline, it's almost kind of like your home base. Like, and you almost think to yourself, like, am I making sure I do this? For instance, I don't think she's on here. Tina Robbins is one of my coaches. Tina's whole thing, and she always is that you need to take care of yourself in order for you to take care of your family, in order to show up as the person that you want to be, the mother you want to be. And I see it in her challenge group, because I'm in her challenge group. I see it what she posts on social media. And so she doesn't have like a huge brand, but that's very much a brand. That's very much what she is selling people, that when you take care of yourself, it actually helps you be a better mother. And she's the mom of special needs children and stuff. She needs to take care of herself. And she very much is adamant in telling other people that. And so I don't want you to think of your tagline right now, but I know, like, Ashley Molstead, her thing is, I think, helping women fall in love without waiting on the wait. Like, so she's helping them fall in love with who they are without waiting for the weight to come off and stuff. And so what I've realized is people who are really successful in this business have that kind of a tagline. They have that thing that kind of ties it all together. And so that's not something that you're probably going to think of like right this second. You might, but it's definitely something that you want to think about. Like, what's the purpose of your business? And here's the coolest thing. we can all have different purposes. We can all have different taglines. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. The next thing is, part of this business is bringing in customers. The other part of the business is you're building a business full of women or men who want to do what you do. And if you can bring in people who want to build a business, your income will change, your volume will change, and the size of your business will change. You know, when I went to Summit in Vegas, literally, I think Sammy Suenes was there. Like, literally, my husband and I took 3 coaches, I think. And Sammy's the only one still with me, by the way. But we took 3 coaches to dinner. That was my team. And it's grown to, like you saw, like 50, 50 people and above at our luncheon. And that's because I have paid a lot of attention into bringing people in who want to work this business. You have to stop treating that part of your business like it's just going to happen, because it's not going to happen. You can get somebody amazing results. They can be lifers. They can love the freak out of Beachbody. It does not mean they actually want to be an entrepreneur if you don't put it out there. And so one of the things that you need to start thinking about is, what are the attributes you want of your coaches? Like, what kind of attributes should they have? I know that my coaches are extremely hardworking. I don't really have lazy coaches. They're just hardworking people. That's an attribute they have. They're tough women. They're women who life has not gone perfectly for. They have, rolled with the punches. They have, gotten knocked down and got back up again. They are very resilient people. They are not people that are like, I don't know what to do. Like, that's not my coach. A coach on my team is not somebody sitting around going, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is somebody on my team that's like that, but they're not working very closely with me, probably. Or they probably were like, wow, I signed up with the wrong coach. I feel like my coaches are good-natured people. I don't think like they're mean people. I think they're good-hearted people. And so when you make your list of attributes you want for your coach, you have to understand that you have to exemplify those things. You can never bring somebody into your business that you're not exemplifying those things. And so, you know what? If you want a resilient coach, start making a list of all the ways that you're resilient. Start making all the ways of how you've been resilient in your life, and start sharing those stories so that people can connect with you. Sometimes I feel like, for me, I can get people to connect with me with kind of like the shame stories and the stories of going through hard times. But that's only one part of me. I'm actually a very tough cookie, and I have been through a lot, and I have done a lot. And sometimes we forget about that. And when we're sharing those stories about, like, I'm going through a hard time, whatever, we start to bring in people who just want to commiserate. Like, they're not really interested in doing anything. They just thought they were going to sit around and drink some coffee and talk about our problems. And so you have to be really aware of what you're putting out there, and make sure that you're exemplifying it. Like, like when I think of Nicole Veneri, I'm pretty sure that if you're joining Nicole Veneri's team, you're not going to have any excuses, because every day she kind of shows that in her story. She shows that, like, of working until 1 a.m., but then being up for her workout and stuff like that. And so sometimes we don't realize that sometimes the little small things that we do are the big things. They are the things that bring people into our business and bring the right people into our business. And so take time to think about the attributes you want in a coach. Think about, am I exemplifying that? And not even am I exemplifying that, and I giving examples of that I am a resilient person? Am I giving examples that I am a confident person? Am I, somebody that takes chances and things like that? Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because you have to understand this. If you don't do this, you are white noise. You are literally white noise. And even though people say, I actually don't believe that our market is saturated, I don't believe that at all. But I do believe that if you are just putting out like a stock picture of Jericho McMatthews and putting out stock pictures of before and after pictures of women who are in the test group, you are white noise, because every coach is doing that. Like, I personally don't share a lot of test group things, not because they're not amazing, but because I feel like that doesn't sell my people. I feel like my people are not going to be like, okay, here's some random girl, she got some great results, like, come join me. And so think about the Morning Meltdown 100. And I want you to understand this too. Morning Meltdown 100 might not be your thing. And if it's not your thing, don't keep trying to sell it to your people, because it's probably not their thing either, right? One of the biggest mistakes I made was really pushing the Ultimate Portion Fix, because at the time when the Ultimate Portion Fix came out, I didn't believe in it. I really didn't. I really had changed my mindset. And it was only until I talked to a fellow friend of mine who was in the business, and she literally told me that she had her best month ever and she didn't sell one Ultimate Portion Fix challenge pack. And I was like, what? She's like, Kim, she's like, I didn't get my body from the Ultimate Portion Fix. She's like, I got my body using 2B mindset. She's like, so I just kept going with that. So yes, we have new products. Yes, we want to obviously be a part of the new thing. But what I want you to understand is you need to start taking a new product and figuring out, how do I make this attractive to my people? Because if you don't make it attractive to your people, it's just noise. It's just like, whatever, I think she's doing some new thing. So what is it about Morning Meltdown? I got to tell you, everybody keeps talking about the DJ. I don't give a shit about the DJ. I'm not a DJ person. I actually listen to different music a lot of times. So I'm not going to talk about that. What I have talked about that has really helped people is, number one, people watched me do those 10 workouts and they literally saw my mindset switch, like right in front of their eyes. They started to see that I started to show up more vivacious, more confident, kind of like, hey, I've been through some rough times, but like, I'm getting my stuff together. I specifically talk about the moves. I specifically talk about the moves are designed to somehow, I really feel like it really does lend itself to a woman feeling more beautiful, feeling more confident, and feeling more empowered. And so I just took a workout, Morning Meltdown, and I just made that attractive to all my people, because all my people want to feel empowered. All my people want to feel beautiful. They want to feel like, they're doing something and they're getting something out of it. I personally like to push myself. I like a workout that's going to make me do kind of like different kinds of workouts. I'm also ADD. I don't like to do the same workout. And so I like the fact that there's 100 workouts and I'm never going to get bored. I talk about the fact that it's 100 workouts. It's a big commitment, and that awesome things come out of consistency. I talk a lot about consistency and how consistency is where it's at, really, if you want a lifestyle. And so figure out Morning Meltdown 100. like, what is making it attractive to you? Like, what do you like about it? What do you think your people will like about it? I got to tell you, I don't really like to work out for more than an hour either. So I like the workouts are 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, I have some of my people like, do I double up? And I'm like, clearly you're not my person. But like, I'm like, no. I'm like, if somebody tells me it's 20 minutes, it's 20 minutes. So that's also a thing that's actually very popular. And so instead of throwing up these typical posts about morning meltdown and all this other stuff, start making it yours. I call it, I don't even use the words half of the time, morning meltdown. First of all, I can't even remember them, but I talk about fat blasting, and I talk about the fact that I feel like it enhances your metabolism. Again, most of the women are around my age, so they're looking to lose fat, and they're looking to whatever they can do to increase their metabolism and stuff. And so make this program yours. Make it yours for your people. So it's almost like you have this brown box. What is it in that brown box that you can make it seem interesting to people? You know, it's like collagen. You know, I'm going to be 48. I could talk about like, oh, collagen's so great for my joints and everything. Hey, I just don't want more wrinkles. And if I could put something into my thing and I'm going to look younger, I'm going to go with that. And I'm thinking that the people who follow me are going to want to hear that, even though I could tell them all the joint stuff. And so it's almost like you get to design what you want to talk about with these programs. And when you start to do that, you will start to get people to come in. And, you know, one of the other things that you can also do is, you know, I actually had you guys do this, talk about your why for doing this program. A lot of the women that joined me in this group all had something happen to them that was not good. Like, they either went through a bad divorce, they lost their mother, you know, they just like gotten off track, like something happened to them where they want a new opportunity to kind of really take care of themselves. They really want to commit to themselves and stuff like that. And so you can even make it specified that way too. Now, we did this when we did the avatar, but you have to start looking at yourself like you're special. And if you didn't, I hope they actually post this. I don't know, they won't, but they will. But when we went to Summit, we heard somebody called Jade Simmons speak, and she hands down literally was probably one of the best motivational speakers I have ever seen. And so just to give you a little background, she was a classical trained pianist, you know, was filling up places, you know, doing her thing, whatever, making good money, whatever. And she decided to bring this Afrocentric music, tribal music, as the background to playing these classical songs. And that combination exploded her business. And so you might think, oh my goodness, she's going to put like Afro tribal notes. Like, are you kidding me? Like, and sometimes it really is when you think about why you're special. And instead of like, I feel like women, we're always trying to dull ourselves. We're always trying to be like, oh, I'm just a mom, or I'm just this, or I'm just that. You were not born to be just anything. You were really born to be special, and you have to own that. You really have to own that. And so you have to figure out what that is, you know, what makes you special, what sets you apart, you know, like when I tell people all the time that I have an infectious laugh, right away they're like, yeah, you do. I love to hear your laugh. You know, like, what is it for me? Like, you know, people associate me with like bikinis. People associate me with PD, like personal development. Like people will ask me like, oh, what are you reading? What are you reading? What are you reading? And stuff like that. And so there are special things about you, but like anything else, when you don't spend time thinking about being special, you don't pay attention to it. But if you're like, okay, I'm in special. Yes, I'm going to put my special hat on and I'm going to think about why I'm special. It starts to come out, like we had a conversation, Jen Palmer and I, and Jen's like, when I started talking about my faith, I felt like, oh my goodness, like, can I do this? But I became somebody who started to investigate my own faith because of the way she explained it. For some reason, the way she explained it made it something. So I was like, I can do that. Whereas everybody else, I'm like, they're crazy. Like, I'm not going to do it. Like, they're crazy. And so when you realize that you might have a special gift, you don't know how much that could change somebody else's life. And so you really do have to look at it. The next thing I want you to look at is, what are you good at? Like, what are your skills? What are your skills you bring to coaching? I am not organized. Anybody who's coming to me to be organized is not showing up at the right place. But it's okay. I hire people actually to organize me. I have a great assistant. I have a great graphic artist. I have great leaders who organize me. So you don't stop worrying about what you're not good at and worry about what you are good at. I am really good at motivating people. I'm really good at making people do things that maybe they wouldn't do otherwise. I am very good on video. I like to write. I'm a good writer. Yes, Jen, I sent your menopause thing to somebody who asked me about that. And she was like, oh my God, she was like, she's talking about all the things and stuff. So figure out what skills you have and then stay in your genius. There's a book called, I think it's called The Big Leap. And it talks about the fact that people are always trying to work in the areas they suck at, and it drains them of joy rather than staying in the skill set that they are awesome at. And what I am awesome at is motivating people, video, writing. And when I stay in that zone of genius, my business is great. When I start to be like, oh, I need to train and I need to do this and I need to do that, it's like, comes to a screeching halt. So figure out what your zone of genius is. And then when you look at your social media, if I literally took away anything fitness or anything nutrition related, what would be left? What would be left? Your dogs, yeah. Like, what would be left that people would connect with you? And it's okay if it's nothing. It's actually a chance for you and an opportunity for you to talk about other stuff, because you need to do that. That's how you find new people. That's how people connect with you. That's how people feel comfortable asking you questions and things like that. And so, you need to really figure that, like the whole like martini and champagne thing, like I kind of like play that up more now, just because it's a very specific thing that people kind of associate with me and stuff. And so sometimes it's like, take 3 to 5 things that, are something have to do with you and blow them up. Now, the last thing I said I was going to talk to you about is having a system for finding these people. And so I do things a little differently. And so the first area is events. For instance, in Florida, it's Florida mini season, which is it's like a small weekend where people go hunting for lobsters, and it's a big thing. And if you search that hashtag, you can find all these people that use that hashtag. Now, I'm not going to follow everybody. I'm going to follow people who probably look like they're about my age. They're kind of like doing my kind of posts and stuff like that. And so like I followed this one lady, and so I found 10 people. One's a photographer, one's small business owner, one's a hairdresser. People like I feel like we would gel together. Philadelphia Eagles started their training camp today. And so I looked up that hashtag, and I actually went to the Philadelphia Eagles site and saw who was posting on there, because I posted on there. Like, I'm the top fan of the Philadelphia Eagles on Facebook. So I want to see, are there any other women like me? You know what I mean? And so it's just this way. And I don't want you to go and find like 50 people. I want you to go and find like 5 people. 5 people that you think are maybe your kind of person. The next thing I do is I go to celebrities that I like, and I see who posts on them. I make sure that I post on them, because you never know who might see your stuff. Fashion, like I might hashtag like little black dress or whatever, or black bikini and stuff like that, and then go find people that way. And so again, I don't want you to get into this system of massively finding people. I actually want you to be like when you like you shake and you like trying to find the shells, like, so that maybe you get like 5 people that you could start to have a relationship with. And by a relationship, I mean like you're liking their posts, you're commenting on their posts, maybe you're watching their story. I really feel like when you're doing these massive things, there's just no way you can keep following up and making sure that you're kind of connecting with these people. A hashtag that I really like is called Godfidence. So it's confidence, but it has God in front of it, because I feel like women who use that hashtag are actually pretty cool and post some pretty cool stuff. And so if I have a hashtag that I like, then I'll start looking at women like that, like, women who hashtag like champagne and things of champagne and stuff like that. I don't do too much on Facebook groups, but Facebook groups can still be good. I actually spend a lot of time in sports groups, but those are the groups that I actually spend the most time in, and I spend the most time in like breast cancer groups too. And so I'll post things, give a value, just try to like, rather than just being a fly on the wall, just kind of trying to do something there. And so try every month to have 10 women in play. 10 women that maybe you're going to target. You're going to, I hate that word target. Like, you're just going to like see if maybe having a closer kind of social media relationship with them would work. Like Tammy and I like talk all the time for like 2 years. Like she's like, she'll be one, like, she'll be able to ask me like personal questions, and I've never met her before and stuff like that. And that comes from that social media kind of relationship. And she eventually joined me. I want you to think of this word CUP, the acronym CUP, CUP. Remember, when you're on social media, you want to connect, you want to uplift, and you want to praise people. And so when you can connect with people, when you can uplift them, and uplifting meaning you should be a positive presence in somebody's social media. Like, when people think of you, they should be like, she is a positive person. She makes my newsfeed better. She, shares something that's funny, or she does this, like, and it doesn't even have to be like, I thought I was going to be like really cute and do like Jericho, like little like things like this. And I did it. And I was like, and then I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, all I could think of is like the Jim Carrey, like the thing, like, and so I posted it. I was like, when you think you look one way and then you actually look like this. I had so many women tell me like they peed their pants when they saw that. So like when I do things like that, it actually makes me likable to people. It actually makes them not hate me because I have abs, because I'll do stuff like that. So you want to connect, you want to uplift, and you want to praise people. You really do want to take time to praise people, to celebrate them, to, you know, like I always feel like when people post something on social media, they're posting it for a reason. They're posting it because, you know, they want to show you their new hair, or their new car, or their kid, or whatever. And when you take the time to do that, it's important. One of the things I was not doing is, and I'm going to explain to you why I wasn't doing it. So I always get a lot of people that comment on my Facebook posts and stuff. I was not answering each and every one of them. You know why? Because I just don't take compliments well. Like I don't know, like it's just like, ew. So like I would just like post at the bottom and I'd be like, thanks guys. And what I didn't realize was taking the time to individually thank each and every person, even though it looks like thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, is important to that person. That person took 2 minutes to write something. You need to do that. And so that's something I've done differently. And it really didn't come from the fact that I didn't want to do it. It came from the fact I needed to get over myself, and I needed to be like, okay, Kim, I know it's weird that people are saying these things, but you have to like be okay with it and stuff. So that's another thing. So hopefully, guys, this helps you in the last week of hitting Success Club. It helps you feel like, I feel like there literally is no lack of people. There really isn't. But I do think that you can feel like there's a lack of people when you're not being super specific with who you are, right? Because it's like dead noise. But when you really start to think about these areas, it's going to give you reasons to post. It's going to give you other ways to connect with people. It's going to give you different people to connect with. And don't forget, not everything is on social media. Like, I know that I'm an introvert, but, you know, like I met 2 new ladies this past week. Like 2 new ladies who now are friends with me on Facebook, and we've gone out fishing on the boat together. And so remember, we're still like real people too. It's not just on social media. And so anytime that you can meet somebody new, you know, even though we would like to stay in our beds and like watch Netflix, if you're building a business, you really do want to take opportunities to go and meet new people. You know, when I went to a networking event, I was like, I don't want to go. And the only reason I went is because my neighbor asked me to speak. And not only did I actually get new clients out of it, I got a kind of like nice little band of ladies that we support one another on social media. And so sometimes that's important too in this business and stuff. So you guys can do this. You have a week left to find your person. And like I said, you know, I had some lady that was like, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to do this. I have 2 people, blah, 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 blah. She like ghosted me, whatever. And I found like 3 other new people that came. And so don't get so hung up on the one person that's like, has a link out there, whatever. Go find other people. Like, you know, if that one comes in, that's awesome. But don't rely on just one person. Because here's the thing. Maybe you'll hit your goal. Maybe you won't hit your goal. But regardless, you've set yourself up for August. So you don't lose. If you go out there and you message people and you talk to people and you do all this stuff, who knows, maybe next Wednesday night, you miss it. But you don't, because you've created momentum, and that momentum carries into August. And so there really is no end to doing this. And so really, you know, when you're messaging people, instead of messaging them with a message of like, it's a live DJ, you know, like maybe craft a better message, maybe craft a message about like why you're doing it or why they want to do it. And you'll see that more people will respond to you. Maybe Morning Meltdown isn't your jam. Like maybe right now 2B Mindset's your jam. Like maybe you're doing something else. Maybe you're loving Lyft. Like you don't have to do what everybody's doing. And when you figure out what you want to do and you're authentic with it, I promise you'll find the right people. So thanks guys for being on the call and changing the time. Bye guys.